In 5, 4. Hey guys, Nick Campbell here. With me as always is
David Steele.
And we are
Rhythm and Wit. Yes, this is the Rhythm Wit Podcast. This is episode 50. We did
it. 50.
And
50,
50 episodes. And today we have a special guest, Taylor Dunn.
Hey,
welcome,
up,
Taylor.
Everybody? Comedian and sailor of the year last year.
That is right.
What's going on, bud?
Not much, man.
You did got pulled over on the way over here.
I did, yeah. I got pulled over on the way over here because I haven't been to this side of town in a long time. And I like to take back roads. I don't like taking the interstate. Like, I'll avoid the interstate as much as humanly possible, just because I don't like a shit ton of traffic all around. I'm okay to cuss, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
My kids watch it. They like it.
Okay.
Teach them how to do it right.
But
Curse like a sailor, bro.
Oh, no, you don't want that. But yeah, I'm, just making my way back here, and I'm tracking to be here 15 minutes early. And as I come over a hill, there's a cop sitting on the other side, and as soon as I see him, I touch the brake and make it not look obvious that I was speeding. I didn't even know that I was speeding.
Yeah.
And he pulls me over. He comes up to the window, license, registration. He walks back to his car, and I'm like, damn, I better get a ticket. And he comes back to the window, and he's like, hey, well, I appreciate your service, Mr. Dunn, but hey, are you a comedian? And I'm like, yeah, I try to be. And he's like, yeah, I think me and my wife saw you open for George Wallace last December. And he was like, we had a pretty good time, and I appreciate your service, so we're going to let you off with a warning. So,
nice.
Yeah, it was pretty
good.
cool.
Hey. Said that Navy perk right there.
And a GI Bill. That's pretty
ask,
good.
Yeah.
Where was that cop hiding? Because I'm a DoorDash driver. I need to try to.
I think I have the on the ticket.
Yeah.
I am curious just because this is I don't see a lot of cops.
At or near 3400 North Bryant Avenue.
Bryant.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's east, right?
I don't know.
Oh, I think it is, yeah. I don't know. That's a little far away than I thought, or further away. I thought it was real close, because this part of town is specifically my neighborhood is probably not the best neighborhood. I mean, Cepeda gave me a lot of shit last week. It was in the ghetto or something, but no.
This is not the ghetto.
It's not, it's not that bad, but there are a lot of homeless people, a lot of I'm sure a lot of drugs going around all over the place, but I mean, that's I've always said this about Oklahoma City. It's you can be the nicest house, and then one block over, there's a freaking crack house. I mean, it's just all back and forth. So,
I mean, I live in Midwest City.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in a gated community inside of Midwest
See, even
City,
that, it's
the
very
Air Force base.
Yeah, kind of.
That's what I tell everybody. I'm like, I live in a gated community. It's a military base.
Heavily
probably
gated.
The best one. Yeah, probably the best
you
one.
You gotta have some high. Yeah, you can't just tell somebody your name at the gate. You gotta have some credentials.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting too with DoorDash, because they have DoorDash there, but you have to have credentials to be even DoorDash there, which I don't have, so I can't. But it's interesting.
How do you get that?
I think you have to be in the military. I mean, I don't know.
Or I think you can apply for a civilian's ID thing, but it's probably not worth it, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's just always one of those things, because it's its own little section that you can't even really. Yeah. Anyways,
there's been times where I've got an Uber driver.
Yeah.
And they're like, you just want me to drop you off at the gate?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, I have an ID. I can take you to your house. And I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Anyways.
So you being one of the veterans in our scene, I figured it'd be great to kind of talk to you about. And I don't think very many people know much about you, man. You stay a little.
You're a little
to
bit
yourself
more
a little
reserved.
bit.
That's hard to believe. I feel like people know way too much. Is the issue? But
Maybe it's just me.
fine.
Maybe it's just me. But when did you get started?
Yeah,
I started when I was 18
wow.
in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
That was when
That's where that draws from.
Yeah.
Is that where you grew up?
Well, I grew up in Wetumpka, Alabama, which is about an hour and a half outside of there. Originally, what got me interested in doing stand-up was, I'd always watched Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler growing up. And originally, I was like, well, maybe I want to be like an actor or something.
Yeah, because that's what those guys did too. I mean, they started with stand-up, but eventually moved into comedic acting.
And then, so what happened with me was like I started taking theater in high school, and it was just I didn't really like a lot of like the improv-y things and stuff like that. Like it was fun, but I always felt like, oh, these people are so much better than me.
Yeah.
And there was this competition called Trumbauer that we would do every year, and you had to pick out a scene, a comedic monologue or a dramatic monologue or something like that. And I couldn't find one that I liked, so I wrote one. And I just made it up from scratch. And my theater teacher was like, "This is really good."
Yeah.
And I did that 2 years in a row. I ended up going to the state competition with it. I won the regional competition with it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And after that, I was like, maybe I should try to write stuff out that's funny and then perform. And then from there, I was like, I'm going to try stand up.
Yeah.
So it was the summer after I graduated high school.
Yeah, that's early too. Because I think a lot of people have aspirations when they're growing up about it's like, oh, I want to try stand up, but they don't actually do it until their 20s or 30s or kind of way later. So it's interesting to hear somebody starting that young for stand up. I mean, I don't think we've really talked to anybody that started in their teens technically. You know?
Well, I tell everybody too, so I started when I was 18. That was the first time I ever went on stage. However, I don't really consider actually doing stand-up regularly enough to get better at it until this was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That's when I'm really that's when I started taking it seriously.
Yeah.
So
is that how bad that first bomb was?
No. I actually, my first time on stage, again, I'm 18 and the people, it's a room that sat maybe 50 people, Stardom Comedy Club in Birmingham. I did it 2 years ago. I got to open for Jim Norton.
Oh, so you went back.
But this was in the small little room in the back, and it was, you had to sign an NDA, you won't say any cuss words. It was squeaky clean. This is the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
And my mom and my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, I literally just bought them the tickets, and I was like, here you go. And they're like, what are you going to talk about? And I'm like, you'll find out at the show. And sure enough, we get there, and I'm going to the bathroom, I'm nervous, and right in the hallway in the lobby, I see my dad.
Oh, wow.
And I hadn't seen him in 7-8 years. And he's with his new wife, and I'm like, oh, shit, because, he's coming to watch me do stand-up for the first time. And everybody else in the lineup was 28, 29 years old.
Right, yeah. Kind of like the people we hang out with today, right? In that era,
and
that realm.
I did it. It was competition based, and I ended up winning the very first time, which that wasn't great for my ego at all.
That's the opposite of most people.
Usually they bomb, but then you got told you Nick, just beat 15 other people.
Nick went up once and didn't go back for 10 years.
Yeah, that was my first. I saw Lenny start.
Lenny Van Horn.
It was the same day I quit.
Yeah, we but that got you a show on the bigger stage later in the year, and then everybody that won the open mic monthly competition, they got to compete for the of the year winning, and I finished third on that.
Dang, that early?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
What was you remember any of the bits?
Oh yeah. So I was a lot skinnier than I am now. When I was 18,
weren't we all?
Yeah. And I had the Justin Bieber cut, the
little swoop.
Yeah, I can send you the video. I will watch it.
Please do.
I have my first set and then the main stage.
Those
set.
blue eyes behind that hair. Come on.
And I had a huge Adam's apple. Now I have a double chin that kind of keeps it all. It's like Adam's apple pie now, but I have it. It was huge. This when I hit puberty, it was overnight. My voice dropped 10 octaves, and I had this huge Adam's apple, and I had all these jokes about how big my Adam's apple was and shit like that. Being at a party and doing the worm and punching holes in the floor with a sharp Adam's apple, and my girlfriend walking in and her heels slipping in the holes in the floor and stuff. I mean, it was. If I go back and watch it now, I'm like, oh shit, this was not that great. But
it sounds like it's pretty well. I mean, it seems like you had a good idea of what to do, to like a lot of comics take a long time to get to that point, even with just like making fun of yourself and just pointing out the most obvious thing about you and just riffing on that.
I read Judy Carter's Comedy Bible.
Okay.
But she has a new version now.
Yeah.
But I had the one that like you could go in the back of the book and it had all the comedy clubs in each state.
Oh, nice.
And this was like 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
I still have it.
Yeah.
And I sure as day I saw Stardom Comedy Club, Birmingham, Alabama, and I got on my laptop and looked it up. And I called them and I was like, "Hey, I'd like to be in your open mic," and that's how you got booked on it like a month out. And
so that's what I was going to ask. So your first ever show, was it an open mic deal or was it an actual show?
I mean, it was an open mic.
Like
it's kind of like how it is here, where
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, I'm on the lineup tonight.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of like that. So, and they don't do any of the open mics there anymore. They only have like main stage acts come through. So
You still go visit pretty often?
the last time I was there was 2 years ago. So yeah, that was the last time I went back. But yeah, this opportunity came up, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in town for these dates. Is there anything that I can do?" And they're like, "Jim Norton's coming through town. You want to open for him?" And I'm like, "Yes." Like, so
I wonder, is there a decent comedy scene out there? I wonder if there's like other comedy clubs or what. Like, is that kind of the only one?
I know there's one in Huntsville that I've never been to, but the main, like, the Stardome is a predominantly black club.
Okay.
It always has been. That's, you know, the crowds that you're going to get in there. So, I mean, it's a different mindset going into those types of shows. I did one during the pandemic, or I came back to Alabama just to be away from California for a bit, and I did a show called Bless with the Funny, and it was like a gospel themed show, and I was the only white person in the building. But it was so much fun. And
what'd you do? What's your gospel bits? Dude?
Well, it was weird because like I hadn't done stand up in like 8-9 months, and I was living in San Diego at the time, and I was like, I'll take anything I can get while I'm in town. And it was weird because it was a competition. The guy that won had come down from New York just to do the show, because just like California, it was closed as well in New York. And like when they brought us out on stage, they like played music and they wanted to introduce us before we started telling jokes. So it was like, "So what's your name? What do you do?" And I was like, "Well, if you just hand me the microphone, I'll talk about all of that."
Like about 5 minutes over it.
You're blowing my bits, man.
For some reason I thought, you know what, I'm going to hit the crip walk as I walk out on the stage, which, thinking back, that is such a wild move. Like, that could have gone so bad. You know? I mean, it was an all black audience, but they loved it. They asked me to do it again. So
that's fun.
But yeah, as far as like, to get back to your original question, there is a comedy scene, but in my opinion, it's just it's very cliquey, which all comedy scenes are, and you know, they'll do things to like sabotage each other and stuff like that. So if I'm not doing like a club show or something, like every blue moon somebody will set something up in like a dive bar or something, and I'll do like a kind of like a private event in there. But I don't
kind of stay out of that scene if you can.
Oh,
you can help it. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably the case in most places, unfortunately, with just that kind of cutthroat kind of mentality.
It's just not a big developed city. You know, like here we have a syndicated comedy club right in the center of town. That's kind of like the heartbeat for everything around. And then, you know, it opens up more opportunities for, you know, like you to independently produce shows and me to produce shows. And like when everybody's working together and they, you know, nobody's like trying to hurt each other, that really,
because
you know, builds the entire scene.
That's kind of our whole goal here, is just to help promote it and make it more aware of people. Because it's like, I feel like there's so many people here that don't know anything about the comedy scene and how, you know, all these opportunities to go and have a good time, you know, for, you know, low, you don't have to pay the Bricktown ticket prices to go to a comedy show if you can go to Nick's show or one of your shows. I mean, a lot of opportunities to laugh.
I can't tell you how many people are like, I've never been to a live comedy show.
Yeah.
I've only watched it on like TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, there's so many cool things happening right here in the city that are either free or like maybe $5-10 that you
especially
can
go to. Cheap date night.
Yeah.
There was like, I think it was like a last weekend or one of these past Fridays. I think it was last Friday because there was Cody's Comedic Confessions. There was something going on at Twisters. There was like another thing. There was like 3 different shows that weren't even the club. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like on the same night. And it was like, for me, I was like, man, it's like, oh shit, I want to go to all these things, but you just need to do one. But
well, the thing is you were talking about how it kind of builds the scene. Is I know comedy's kind of you know, as far as wrestling goes, it's a single person sport. You know, kind of like the idea of like you're up there contending with the audience, and it's just you, but if you don't have anybody to spar with, how do you get better? You know? So it takes all of us to kind of be there and be present. I mean, the people on the show are just as important as the person making the show.
Yeah. And I mean, so we have like our open mic at Bricktown. You're doing 4 minutes. And I mean, but when I come and do like your show, I'm doing like 10-15.
Yeah, you get
and that's really how you start.
But actually, October 10th, if you guys want to know, he's going to be headlining Put a Cork in Winery. He's going to be doing 30 to 40 minutes, depending on how you feel.
Have you ever done that much time before? I mean, I'm sure you have at least once, right?
If you've been to Comedy Avenue in Lawton, sometimes if people don't show up, they'll be like, hey, can you go longer? And it's like, yeah, so.
You definitely got the material to cover it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean, it's one of the longer sets that I've done, especially in a while. But you know, that's how you get better,
right?
And, you
got to at least do that as much as you can, even if it's like once or twice a year. You know,
I used to be like super like worried about, oh my god, this is so much time. But then as you start doing the 10 and then the 15. You really realize, like, oh, I can kind of stretch my legs a little bit. Yeah. And I don't have to rush.
That's what I've noticed just watching Nick do, kind of starting out over the past 3 years, like doing shorter and then longer and longer and longer. And then, like, the first time you'd ever done 30 minutes, which I think was at Comedy Avenue also. And it was just, like, such a weird, like, difference in seeing, because I've seen Nick more than probably any other comic individually.
He likes me a lot. He just comes out there.
He usually pays me to be there. So.
That's most of the people that show up.
That's how he makes friends.
Everybody's like, I'm here to see Liz.
No, but yeah, so I've seen him a ton, so it's like really interesting to see him do that 30 minutes compared to like 5 or 10, just to see like you're able to like stretch or, you know, like live in that joke longer and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like it opens up opportunities to like talk with the crowd about this and that. So like I've found like tags for stuff in like normally like if I get booked at the comedy club, I know I'm going to do 10 to 15 minutes. And I have like, this is my grade A material. I know no matter what crowd is out there, they're probably going to vibe with this stuff. And then when I have like a 20 or 30 minute set at a place like, you know, Put a Cork in it or, you know, Comedy Avenue, I'm like, oh, I can kind of play around with this a little bit.
You can kind of just, not be so buttoned up a little, you know, and kind of.
I've been listening to the laughs. Like I'll listen and somebody will like giggle hard and I'll be like, all right, let me mess with this person. You know, or you kind of stretch it out. Or like you said, you get those little bit of extra tags. Yeah. Just from it's almost like they're cheering you on. They want you to give them something.
Now I feel like it's so much harder to come up with the shorter sets. Yeah. Like when I went down to Austin, I had to, because I tried out for Kill Tony, and I was like, I have to put together a solid 60 seconds. That's hard to do.
What'd you do?
Well, I didn't get to go up, but I had like everything kind of pre-planned, and I timed it to where I was like, this is exactly 60 seconds. This is how many opportunities I have for a laugh, and I have a space for a break. Like I had it imagined in my head exactly how it will go if I got selected. And I went to the gym that day because I got a free pass through Gold's Gym. Yeah. And because I was staying at a hostel right there on the street. So I was like, that's what's going to help me like settle my nerves. So I went to the gym. Okay. Yeah. And I did the set while I was on the treadmill. So I would like force myself to get out of breath, and I would like watch the timer. So by the time, you know, I went over to hopefully get on Kill Tony, I was like, okay, I'm going to be good to go for this minute. So that was tough.
That's a very military style.
Yeah, right.
Well, I wanted it to be good. That's the thing is, you know, you don't know how Kill Tony works is like they film it and then you don't see the actual footage till like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
You don't even get to watch it live if you're in the bar next door. Shakespeare's is where they film everything, or not where they film everything, but where everybody hangs out. And they show the live episode that is playing on YouTube on a big screen. And occasionally they'll pause it and they'll be like, hey, Taylor Dunn, you're on Kill Tony. And then you have to go up, verify your wristband. And then 2 employees from Comedy Mothership will escort you around the back of the building and bring you in the back of the club. It's a really cool. If you get an opportunity, awesome. Like everybody's like, "Oh, are you really gonna try out for Kill Tony?" It's like, yeah, why not? I'm in Austin.
It's
like,
cool. Yeah, it's like a good experience. I mean, regardless. I mean, and like you said, you learn a little bit of how they do their stuff, and like, you know, I like that because it's like I try to go to like different shows that people even produce. Like seeing Cody do his show last week, that was like, it's such a cool thing to see someone else produce a show, and it's like, how do they do that, and you know, how do they run it, and you take ideas and you learn something new from watching someone else. Especially he's like a newer producer, killing it too, doing a great job, and to see how focused he is, and like a lot of people, I feel like, you know, we all do our best, but he's just like doing the most he can. You know.
Oh yeah.
So it's really inspiring. But yeah,
you spent some time down in Austin. What would you say? Because I'm planning a trip for next year. What would you say? Where would you start? Where do you get involved? Do you think doing anything at Mothership or Kill Tony is worth it? You know,
I mean, if you can, I'm going to be honest with you. The only opportunity you're going to have is open mic or hopefully getting on Kill Tony, and that is a lottery system. Like, there's no way to guarantee, I mean, unless you know somebody that works there, and even then, it's a shot in the dark if you would, because I mean that's the biggest club on earth right now. I mean, when you go in, like, I paid to go watch a show the first night I was there. And it's like getting into Fort Knox. Like, the line is around the corner, and they get you, they like check you in on a computer, and then you have to go through like a full-blown airport level security just to get into the building. And it's not that big. It's really a small spot. It only seats like maybe 350, maybe 400. But I mean, just the lineups are insane. Just the people that you get to see on a Tuesday night. I would suggest if you're going to watch a show, go on a Tuesday. But as far as everything else, like, this is the advice that, because I saw a few comics in the scene go, and they were like, yeah, I mean, it was cool, but I only got to do one open mic. Plan that out as far in advance as you can, and use what you do here as like a bargaining chip. So like, that's what I did. I was like, hey, I run shows in Oklahoma City, you know, so-and-so gave me your contact information. I found out you were the owner of a club down there, and you're also a stand-up. If I can come and do your show in Austin while I'm there, you can come up to OKC and do my shows while you're here, and kind of set up like a run for them. So I did that at like 4 or 5 different places. I did 8 shows in the 5 days that I was there.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, that's a good connection. Yeah.
Okay.
No problem. So, well, we talked a little bit about the military. I wanted to ask, like, how did you get involved with that? Like, what made you join the Navy, I should say, right? And like, how long ago? How long have you been in it, I guess, is the question.
Well, so I was 18, and I did great doing stand-up my very first try, and that was the idea in my head, was that, I'm going to be Dave Chappelle in 2 years.
You know, especially after winning and doing after a great start.
And you know, I was going to college at the time, which I really couldn't afford, and I had no interest in finishing it. It was like, this is just to appease my parents until I am famous. And you know, life comes at you pretty quick, and before you know it, now you're 19 and you're still working a job here, and you're not doing stand-up. I only did stand-up 4 times before I joined the Navy, and I took like a 4-year break in between when I started doing it again. But it just got to a point to where I could kind of look around at the places I was working. I was working at a pizza restaurant called Mellow Mushroom, and I noticed that everybody else that worked there was like 27, 28, and they were all losers.
Miserable.
And like, I'm like, oh God,
Yeah.
I got to get out of here now. And of course, being in a small town in Alabama, what else? I was like, I have to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I tried to join the Air Force for a really long time, but I got arrested when I was 18, and they were not really that interested. You know, it was like, hey, go get your high school transcript. Okay. And then I'd come back, and they'd be like, okay, get your medical records. And then I'd come back, and they'd be like, okay, go get this. So I'm building a stack of paperwork in the back of my car that you need to join the military.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine, he was like, oh, I'm going to join the Navy. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to join
be on the water, man.
Because everybody tells you you're going to, like the Air Force is the one to go to for the most comfortable lifestyle while being in. And so I was just like, I don't know, because it was Air Force, and then I never even thought about doing the Army. So it was Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, and then Army. And once I figured out the Air Force was kind of a lost cause, my buddy took me to GameStop one day, and to this day, I think he set this up where his recruiter was there, and he was like, "Yeah, let's talk for a little bit." And he was like, "Well, what do you want to do?" And I told him kind of what I saw myself doing, and he was like, "Well, I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about being a pilot, which you can't be a pilot unless you graduate college and are an officer. So let's get that disclaimer out there now. He was like, yeah, we could do that. Or what else would you think about doing? I was like, well, I don't know, maybe like something in the medical field. And he was like, oh, you could be a corpsman in the Navy. And that's originally what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a medic. And I was like, okay. So he's telling me everything good. And I, talked to my girlfriend, who's soon to be my wife. We're engaged. She's like, yeah, let's try it. The biggest thing was I can get you out of here in 6 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So before you knew it, I went down to MEPS, and they tell me I don't qualify to be a medic, which was a lie. They told me I didn't score high enough on the ASVAB, but I found out later that I did. But honestly, it probably is a good thing, because it's really hard to get promoted in the medical field. Some people, they're in for years and years and years.
Because I'm sure you still have to do the same type of like school that any medical person would have to do, or that
not
length
quite. It's more like you're more like a nurse.
Yeah,
like we have actual doctors who are in the military, and those are the people that went to college.
Right.
But the corpsmen,
they kind of
or
train
the
you
HMs,
there.
they're kind of like your nurse practitioners.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that just to have you out on the field so you can help other people? Is that
well, I mean, no, like they work at the hospitals and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And, if you do get assigned to a combat unit, you do combat triage.
Yeah.
And that's not just specific for like certain people. Like everybody can do a little bit of each other's jobs.
Yeah.
Like I've gone through combat triage and all that stuff, and it's so interesting. I've loved going through all of those classes, and like, oh, this is how you apply a tourniquet, and this is how you put a nose hose up somebody's nose so that if their airways blocked, they can still breathe, and like all of those sorts of things has always been super interesting.
cool.
See, that's crazy, because Call of Duty makes me believe it's just a med pack.
Yeah, they just they just run up to somebody, hold the button for 30 seconds, and then they're back up.
Well, damn.
But yeah, as far as it literally just boiled down to the Air Force wasn't there. For me, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll join the Navy.
Yeah, it seems like it worked out. I mean, you've enjoyed being with the Navy, and they've obviously. I always think about the military and that kind of thing, and how much they do for your family and that kind of stuff. Because I imagine both of you and your wife got to leave together and go, move wherever.
Well, I mean, it depends. If I was on a deployment, she didn't get to go.
Yeah, but
I will say,
but they put you in a house and put you on a base and stuff like that.
I will say I've been extremely lucky for somebody who's been in the Navy for almost 11 years. This on the 2nd will be my 11 year of joining the Navy anniversary. Yeah. And I've never been stationed to a ship.
Yeah.
Which is
never had to do any
never been on a boat.
Serious stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, you didn't do medical. What do you do then?
I'm a logistics specialist.
Okay.
Yeah. So I handle the ordering of parts and any supplies that's needed to service an aircraft.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good job. I mean, it's kind of like inventory management type stuff.
Yep. If they tell me like, oh, we need this part to fix this gripe on this plane, I can order it for them and make sure that they get it, and then like get rid of stuff when they need to get rid of stuff. I handle hazmat and the logistics. Like sometimes that even means like moving people to different locations and stuff like
That's
that.
cool.
So yeah.
Hey man,
Pretty. I mean,
thanks for
kind
your
of.
service.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Appreciate
definitely. Cool story there. I love that. I love hearing about that. I thought about this too. This is the second. Cepeda was on our last podcast, military, and then another back-to-back military comedians, which is probably pretty rare, or somewhat anyway.
Yeah.
Or wait, I don't know. I can't think of anyone else.
Well, Gary Owens. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Most people are like retired before they really get into comedy,
Yeah.
but I'm different to where I started doing comedy
Yeah,
before I
man.
joined the Navy. And that's one thing like I consider myself super lucky is like I'm able to do stand up at the volume that I can do it now while still being active duty Navy. I mean, obviously I'm not going and doing 5, 6 sets a
You're
night
not like traveling
like
and
that,
doing a
but
bunch of that kind of stuff either. But
yeah.
Well, I mean, you do a lot. Like you said, you do. Before I don't know if we got that on here before.
yeah,
But, you do a show at Bricktown Comedy Club called Got Your Six.
Yep.
Yeah, and you've been on TV trying to promote and everything like that, and it's specifically for military, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Well,
you want to tell us about that?
So when I say it's like for military, some people are like, oh, it's a military themed show where we're gonna stand up and do the Pledge of Allegiance and all that. Somebody's gonna run out with it, but it's not like that. It's literally just this is the best show that I can put together, and I'm inviting the military out to come have a good time.
but it's like this. The comedians are just all of our friends and the people that we work with generally.
Yeah,
Funny,
if I can throw somebody on there who does
Yeah.
have prior service or something like that, like Cepeda's done the show before.
Exactly.
That's always like an added bonus because he's he can
he
talk to the Army
he can
guys that are
have some jokes about the military that they're gonna really like.
right. But yeah, I had a girl on there who's I just met when I was in Austin, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to come up through OKC?" And she was super funny when I met her in Austin. So I was like, "Hey, you want to come do some shows in OKC?"
Yeah.
And she did. And she loved it. She was like, "Oh, that was great."
What was that?
Yeah, what's the name?
Her name is Satari.
Satari. I didn't get a chance to.
I think
see
she's
her.
based out of Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah, real pretty girl with like long brown hair. But she's a killer. She's so
That's
funny.
awesome.
Nice. So, but she's not. She's out of Austin specifically, or she was just visiting.
She's
around
out of
town?
Dallas.
Out of
but
Dallas,
yeah,
yeah.
she bebops around a lot.
Yeah.
Like I follow her on Instagram, and I can see her like in New York all the time
that's
and stuff
awesome.
like that.
So, how often are you doing these shows?
Just whenever we can. We're coming up November 10th, which is the day before Veterans Day. That'll be our third one that we've done this
cool.
year.
Oh, nice.
And then it's just about figuring out like, hey, do you guys want to do this again? And it's all just based off of like, hey, are you happy with the result of that last show? Cool. Would you like to do it again?
Keep them going. Yeah.
And then we just look at it, openings and dates and stuff like that, and what makes sense. And then we're like, okay, yeah, let's set the date. So.
This episode of Rhythm and Wit is brought to you by buymeacoffee.com/rhythmandwit, where you can go and make a $5 donation or possibly more to Rhythm and Wit. It is our way of raising money here on the podcast. And what you do is go on to buymeacoffee.com/rhythmandwit. Check out the link in the description of the video. And then what you do is you can make a donation, which is a cup of coffee. You can make a donation for 1 cup of coffee, which is $5. 10 cups of coffee if you can afford it, which would be amazing.
$50.
Yeah, so it kind of goes from there. And what you also do is when you make the donation, it will allow you to leave a message, and we will read your message here on the show. Just like Don bought 3 coffees, and he says, "Stay caffeinated, fellas."
Hey. Will
Thanks,
do.
Don.
Yeah.
Claybar has a comment. You both rock for highlighting the local community. Keep on showing off what creativity OK has to offer.
All right.
So that's something we love
Thank
to
you.
do.
Clay
So,
bar?
yeah.
Clay Bar.
So thank you to those 2 donations. And then, yes, if you make your donation, we will shout out your message here on the channel.
Yeah.
So,
We'll
all
say
right.
your name. It's super
All right.
fun. Well, I mean, that's not the only thing you produce.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's not the only thing you do.
I was going to ask, are we allowed to talk about the thing we're not supposed to talk about?
Yeah, at this point, you can.
I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that. Yeah, So you produce Don't Tell Comedy Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
We did our first show in March of last year.
Okay, so yeah, it's been almost 2 years coming up fairly soon.
So how'd you get hooked up with that? What'd you do?
So when I was in San Diego, obviously a much bigger, more in-depth Don't Tell out there.
Right.
And even more so like in Los Angeles. And that was the show that everybody wanted to get on. It's like, I got to get on Don't Tell because, it was just really starting to blow up on like social media, and you'd see the YouTube clips and stuff like that. And nobody knew how to get on.
Yeah.
Like, who do I talk to? And they're like, I think it's this guy, but I'm not sure.
That's kind of a part of the fun about the mystery of it, for sure. That's why I think even, when you were doing it, it's like, yeah, Taylor does this, but don't tell anyone.
Well, at first, because that was the thing. I didn't want anybody to, like, treat me any differently.
Right.
Like, I don't want to go down to the comedy club and get off stage and everybody's like, dude, that was great.
Yeah,
that was a great set tonight. And I'm like, that sucked. Like, you're being nice to me because you know what show I booked.
But I think that's going to come no matter what. I'm sure that people kiss Nick's ass because he's a producer.
I lie to people all the time.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like if you're any kind of producer, they're going to try to.
I just trust the audience.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I was out there and I started producing a show. This was what really was the level up for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in San Diego, I was just doing open mic, just trying to figure it out. And I picked those orders to get better at stand up. Like that was the whole idea, is when I get out to California, that's the Holy Land. I can go up to the Comedy Store in LA.
Yeah.
I can really make an effort to get better because there's so many more opportunities. And that was great for about 6 months. I was getting like actually booked on stuff like, hey, we want you to do 10, 15 minutes. We're going to pay you this much. And when you start hearing that for the first time, it's exciting. And then in March of 2020, COVID happened. And everything closed for 2 years. And California,
especially out there.
It literally, the only thing you could do was go to work, go to the grocery store.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow you to do anything else.
Yeah, even like you were doing like a show outside, the police would show up and close it down. Yeah, it was so ridiculous. And as things started to kind of open up and people weren't really playing by that mentality anymore, I was on Coronado, which is this small little island right off it's not really an island, it's a peninsula, but everybody calls it an island.
Is that a military base?
Part of it is, yeah. It's like half of the landmass there
Mm.
is NAS North Island, or Naval Air Station North Island, which, fun fact, is where they filmed both of the Top Gun movies.
Nice.
It looks like Top Gun all day long.
Just guys out there playing volleyball.
Yeah. When I watched the newest movie, they actually came to the base and showed us the movie like 2 months before it came out.
Were you there? Were you around when they were filming?
No, it happened before I even got out. They filmed that movie in like 2018.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and then
they had to sit on it because of the COVID and stuff, I think. Because of the theaters. Yeah, that's right.
But so I'm out there and I'm like, I got to do something other than just do open mic, because doing open mic out there, you were going to the comedy club, signing like a ticket, or you would put your name on the list and it would have 85 people on it. And you're just sitting there waiting to go up and do 3 minutes in a room full
It's like
of
if
comedians.
you even get to go up, right? Yeah.
Or if it was a lottery system, you'd sit there for 3 hours and not get picked, but you'd see the same people getting picked to go up, and you're like, okay, it's rigged. So I had like 2 options. I was like, they had an opening at the comedy club to work as the sound guy. Yeah. This American comedy company in downtown San Diego. And I went and I had to audition because they wanted comedians to work there. And they were like, hey, that was great. If you want to, just wait by your phone, we'll give you a call, let you know. A week passed, and I got a phone call, and they said, hey, you're on the schedule tonight, right? And I was like, no. Nobody told me I got the job or anything. And they're like, well, how soon can you be here? And I'm like, I'm not coming down there. Y'all didn't even remember to tell me that I got the job. So, well, the second option was like, I'm thinking about maybe producing my own show. And my wife's like, well, how are you going to do that? And I was like, well, I've watched stand-up countless times, and I've performed, so much over the years, and I know enough people. And originally I framed it as a class to where I could teach people who had never done stand-up before.
Beginner's class, yeah.
Like, I can teach you how to put together a 5-minute set.
Yeah.
And when I did the class, it was in this small little art gallery on Coronado, and I only had 3 elderly people sign up for the class.
That's awesome.
Did you guys do Tai Chi after?
No, I wish we had, because it was so bad.
Yeah.
Like, and they were very sweet, but there was one of them who was like a crazy cat lady, and she would just ramble on and on and on about her cats, and I was like, okay, there's 2 other people that paid to be here to learn, so let's do that.
Take turns.
And 6-week course, and then at the end we were going to do a grand finale, which I was going to put together a show inside the gallery. And the lady that owned the gallery, the day of, I'll never forget, it was October 28th, 2021, and I set tickets for $5. So I had those 3; they were the openers, and then I picked a handful of local comics, people that worked at the Comedy Store in La Jolla and stuff like that, people that I knew were good.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm producing a show, and we'll be on it. So we had like 8-9 comedians, and sold tickets for $5. And then that afternoon, she called me and she's like, hey, we've only sold like 20 tickets, so you just want to cancel it? And I'm like, no.
So that's a crowd right there.
I was like, no. I mean, it bummed me out, but I was like, no, I'm not going to cancel it. Like, these people paid for a 6-week course, which I split that payment with her.
Yeah.
To do this, like, we're going to have to do the show no matter how many people show up, because this is what they paid for. In 3-4 hours, it sold out.
Oh, wow.
We sold 90 tickets and then sold an additional 20 for standing room only.
Yeah.
And it was slam packed.
What was it? What was the deal?
Was
Like,
it?
what
Do you
made
think it was
people
like
got off work?
Yeah.
They were looking for something to do.
Do you
on
think
a
it was
Friday
also
night.
like the $5 ticket price too?
Oh,
I
for
mean, that's
sure.
a great,
And then the next show
for
that we
9
did,
comics. I mean,
we did. I taught another class for 6 weeks before doing, and then I was like, I only had 2 people sign up for that one, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do the class anymore. I'm just going to do
do the last part.
I'm just going to produce the show.
Yeah.
And I ended up doing a show there a total of 7 times, and each time we would up the ante. Like, hey, the tickets for this one are going to be $10. Oh, hey, the tickets for this one's going to be $20, but we have Mark Christopher Lawrence headlining.
Sick.
Or, hey, this one's going to be $25, but we have Zoltan Cassis headlining because he was from San Diego and he was a local comic, which he's coming through here pretty soon. I mean, he's like a nationally touring comic now.
So you've been kind of bumping elbows with people for a while.
Oh, yeah. But having that opportunity, just running a successful show, I had the opportunity to work with the Laugh Factory in downtown San Diego. They gave me an opportunity to produce a show where I had David Lucas come headline. We did 2 back-to-back shows, and they gave me a hell of a door deal.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, you get 50% of the door, but you pay everybody.
Yeah.
And the tickets were $30.
Hey.
And we sold out 2 shows. So within 6 months of starting to produce a show, I got a check in the mail from the Laugh Factory that was $4,100.
Dang.
So when I show this to Mrs. Dunn, I'm like, hey, there's a little bit to this.
Is worth
And then,
putting time into for sure.
Yeah, we were off to the races after that.
That's
And
awesome.
I've produced shows all over the place.
Yeah, all over the different areas too.
Dude, that is insane. So what is do you think, is it easy? People go out more out there? Is that what the deal is? Is like, how
what's
did
the
you,
difference?
what was your promoting style? What were you doing marketing and all that?
Well, at the time, I mean, nobody had shit to do for 2 years.
Right. Maybe people wanted to get out of the house.
So
it was
it's
a
like,
good
hey, we're
time.
doing a comedy show right here in Coronado. It was a very niche area because the people out there got money.
Yeah.
Like, go on Google as soon as this is over and look up the average house cost on Coronado, and it's going to blow your mind. But it's a very small, like, beach community, and there's nothing to do. There's no nightlife. If people come and, like, stay at the Hotel del Coronado, which is a world-famous hotel right there on the island, they have to go across the bridge into San Diego for nightlife.
Yeah.
So if, like, oh, well, there's a comedy show happening right here at this art gallery that lets you do BYOB.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we'll go to that. Nice. And so I learned a lot just by, like, learning those patterns. Like, oh, okay, if we have to do a show on a Friday, or we have to do a show on a Saturday because Sunday's not going to sell as well. Like, all of those things, I learned that, like, right out of the gate. And we would up that ticket price, and people would still show up in droves. But you had to have a headlining act that had a little bit of a pull. Like, oh, I've seen this guy on TikTok, or I remember watching this guy in that show Chuck years ago. And we would put that stuff on the poster. Like, Mark Christopher Lawrence was in Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah.
And he was in The Pursuit of Happiness. And I put that stuff on the poster. And people were like, well, let's go see this guy. And he was, I mean, he was great.
Yeah.
That guy. That dude's a veteran.
So is there have you seen a big difference promoting in Oklahoma? How long have you been in Oklahoma? I'm curious.
I got to Oklahoma in September of 2022.
Okay. So, and then you'd never been here, and I guess you just got stationed here, right? Is that the reason? And what's it been like promoting or producing in Oklahoma compared to, like, especially California or anywhere else?
I mean, it really just depends. We kind of talked about it before we started, but the very first show I produced here, I had Matt Ross, who I'd met during the summer. He was a feature on a show that I had David Lucas come perform in my hometown. And he was like, hey, I'm from Oklahoma City. If you could set up a show there for me, I'd really like to do it. And we did it over at Rodeo Cinema over in the Stockyards, and we sold it out. And I'd been here like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And then from there, originally my idea when I got here was to do Don't Tell for Oklahoma City because I knew I didn't finish telling about the Don't Tell thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
This is like a Tarantino film.
Yeah. I'll get back to the point that I'm at now. But the way I got involved with Don't Tell was I was doing this show on Coronado, and I was like, well, maybe they'll come do a Don't Tell show inside here.
Yeah,
and I was thinking,
art gallery, right?
If we do a Don't Tell, we could kind of bump it like, hey, we also do our own show here at the art gallery. And I reached out to them on Instagram, and I was like, hey, I've got a spot on Coronado that I think you would think is cool. And they messaged back, and they were like, oh, that's cool. I actually work on Coronado.
Oh.
And I was like,
so
well, that's...
You're right there.
I was like, that's crazy, because I also work on Coronado. And I was like, okay, well, I can meet you as soon as I get off. And they were like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then I go to the art gallery, and I'm still in my uniform. I just left work, and here comes this guy also in uniform walking my way, and he's a chief. He's an E7 in the Navy. And I was like, you're not. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, shit. He had never done stand-up before.
Yeah.
He knew one of the people that started Don't Tell from years ago. And, it was just something where he was like, hey, I can run the San Diego sector of Don't Tell. And
so you were doing it out there? Is that
no. So
he was.
I met him, and he didn't really think that the art gallery was a place that was a good setup for it. But just that, like, hey, nice to meet you.
Right. That meeting,
I asked him for a spot on a show, and I got to do it a couple of months later. And at that time, I knew, hey, I'm coming to Oklahoma City. They don't have one out there. So he was like, well, you can ask them. So that brings me back to my original point was when I got here, I was like, hey, I have experience producing shows. I know some people. Can I do this in Oklahoma City? And they were like, well, you just got there and you don't really know anybody.
Yeah, you got to get plugged into the scene.
And they were like, so let's revisit this in like a year. And so I did like independently produce shows.
Now, was that Glamour?
Yeah.
I know it was like kind of a weird time, but that was a pretty good spot.
I liked it. Yeah. I mean, I only went there once when they did that funniest Oklahoma comic or whatever.
Yeah, that seemed to be.
But the space itself was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say anything about.
It was weird. Else. Like I'll talk about it because they're no longer in business. But it was they wanted me to do a weekly show that didn't start until 9:30 p.m. And I was like, that's people are blue collar around here. Nobody's going to come out on a Wednesday and stay up till They wanted me to run the show until midnight.
Maybe on a Saturday night, but even then.
What was their thinking? Like, where they were like, this is when we have time?
It was people that have never... That's the thing that you run into a lot with these venues that have never dealt with comedy before. Is in theory, it's like, oh, yeah, we'll have a 3-hour-long show.
Yeah.
It blows my mind to this day how many people will show up an hour and 30 minutes after a show has started, and they're like, oh, well, I thought the show would be longer.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how long did you think it was going to be? I figured it'd run 4 or 5 hours. And it's like,
it's not a
no.
concert.
It's like, usually it's going to be about 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And
even then, my butt's tired.
Yeah.
Because I still got to take everything down and get everybody out of here and that whole, and, but yeah, they just, they started to kind of conform to what I wanted to do, but every single week running it was
so you were
tough.
doing it what they wanted for a while, right? How long did you produce there?
I want to say it was like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And this is, I got to be at work at 6 a.m. the next morning, so it was tough on Thursday mornings after doing that Wednesday night show, and then the whole funniest comic thing that came from, do you remember when they did the Kenan Thompson thing when it came through? So that was one of the first shows that I got booked on here, which it was just a glorified open mic,
right?
But it was fun. I mean, it was cool. Everybody did 3 minutes, but it was a packed house, and I was like, well, nobody got their videos from that.
No, really?
Oh yeah.
Dang. I went and saw that. That was a really good show. Yeah. It was fun, yeah.
I was drunk as a skunk. I was nervous because that was like one of the, I was like, oh shit, I'm in a packed comedy club again.
Yeah.
This hasn't happened in years. And then, here, I had a bunch of my friends from work, which I was real nervous at the time. Like, oh, what if I do bad in front of my friends at work? And long story short, I had way too many drinks ahead of time. I still performed, but yeah.
That's funny.
One of the guys that was running that show, I kept asking him like months later, I'm like, hey, are we ever going to get our video from that? And long story short, it turned into, well, hey, if you want to continue in the competition, it's going to cost $750. And yet they put us on this huge Zoom call almost a year later. And when she said $750, you could just see people dropping out of the call. Like, and I asked her, like, hey, what do I got to do to get my footage? And she's like, well, I can send you the video without the audio for $100. But if you want the audio with it, that's going to be an additional $75. And I was like, ma'am, I could have had somebody record that with a cell phone.
Yeah.
So
for 3 minutes?
For 3 minutes.
Yeah. Is this true that they were kind of like harvesting jokes and stuff? I mean, what was the whole point
don't know.
of that?
Yeah. I don't know about all of that.
Yeah.
But when it came to the funniest comic that we ran at Glamour, that gentleman who was running that, he was like, oh, I'm not associated with the Kenan Thompson people anymore. I think that was a scam. It was terrible that happened, and that's not the type of business I run. Well,
turns out he was the reason.
I put him in contact with the people that did that ran Glamour, and they thought it was a good idea, and they were like, hey, we'll set this up over a weekend, and we'll do like 4 nights and a total of 6 shows. That was really the only involvement I had. I didn't book anybody. He did all the booking. And he said like who the judges would be, and he was like, hey, you're going to host this night, close this night, host this night, headline this night, and that was all I knew. So I have every comic in the local area being like, why am I booked next to this person, or why did I not get booked? And I'm like, dude, I didn't do any of that.
It wasn't your deal,
And then after it was all said and done, John Wallen was the winner, and getting that guy to pay him was like pulling teeth.
How much did he win?
He won $500
Okay.
for winning the entire thing. And he got to say, oh, I'm the funniest comic in Oklahoma City 2023.
Yeah.
And I found out that Cepeda won in Tulsa, and I don't know that he ever got paid.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. To
it
this
was
day.
the same guy?
Oh, same guy. Yeah. And everybody's like, when am I going to get my video from the performance? And it was like 8 months later, and I hit this guy up, and I was like, hey, dude, if you're planning on releasing any videos, just keep them. Nobody cares anymore.
It was like, we're over it. I mean, shit.
He's like, they take a long time to edit. And I'm like, it takes you
but still.
2 years to edit
not
video.
that long.
Yeah.
So the long story short is if that dude comes around anymore, I'll put him on blast so everybody knows, like, hey, if you want to perform in a show that has a lot of people at it, sure, but don't think you're going to be on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. Yeah, we got that's the thing with producers like that. I mean, I remember in the music world, there's definitely been producers that we've dealt with. I remember back in the day, they had the Battle of the Bands competitions. It's like the same kind of deal, and it's like, and you have to be very wary of that in this field. I mean, performance of all kinds. There's definitely people that want to take advantage of it, but I think it's good that like we kind of, we all talk to each other, and it's like, okay, don't fuck with these guys. These guys are cool. It's like we got to kind of take care of each other in that way and try to keep those people from intervening and breaking in.
Well, anytime I heard that guy talk, or he would like get us in a group and try to be authoritative.
I think I remember talking to him at the show with you that night. Even but
he felt fly by night.
Right.
Like anytime that I talked to that guy.
But
when he was leaving, he was like carrying a case. I'm out of here.
He was a snake oil salesman for sure. He was telling people like, I got Dave Chappelle's number on speed dial, and it's like, then why are you doing this?
Yeah,
we're in Oklahoma right now.
Yeah. And I mean, you got to get it how you live, but at the same time, it's like throwing around stuff. Like, he treated everybody like they didn't know anything.
Right.
And it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
So.
But
sorry,
everybody.
Anyways,
what was his name and number and where did he live?
I mean, I'll say it if you want.
Do it.
No, for sure. It's an interesting story too, because I'm sure a lot of people definitely that watch this show were a part of that or remember that. So it's kind of nice to hear a little bit.
I apologize. More. It wasn't me. It was Sean Trainer. Go on his Facebook and
put him on blast for sure. No,
he was like releasing some podcasts and stuff and posting them on our feed and everything there for a little while.
This is how you produce a good show. It's like I'd comment on there and like, what about paying people?
That's kind of a big part of it.
This episode of Rhythm Wit was brought to you by Campbell & Son Electric, Oklahoma City's trusted one-truck electrical contractor with over 20 years of experience in the field. Whether it's upgrading your home's electrical service, troubleshooting issues, or tackling small commercial projects, Campbell & Son Electric delivers top-notch work with care and attention you'd expect from a family business. Servicing areas like Del City, Edmond, Yukon, Mustang, and beyond, they're your go-to for reliable expert service. Need help with your next project? Visit CampbellandSonElectric.com today and get it done right the first time. Campbell & Son Electric, brightening Oklahoma, one wire at a time. So you did Don't Tell. You got it started here.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool to hear that too, because that's something. I mean, I just assumed that maybe I didn't know that you were kind of involved with the bringing that here, in the first place. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and I will say as a disclaimer, like I'm just a facilitator.
Right.
They are a bigger company. So whenever, there's people that still haven't had the opportunity to perform on a Don't Tell show, and they think it's just because, he doesn't like me. No.
It's bigger people.
You have to submit to, and Nick can attest to this because he's been on one of the shows.
I've been overlooked as well.
You submit a video, and they will view it and they make sure it aligns with the type of shows that they want to do, and they will give a green light or a red light.
Right.
And then they'll be like, hey, these are the people that we've greenlit. And then from there, I can build a lineup.
Right.
And then they can look at that lineup and go, you know what? You have too many straight white males on that. Let's take this person out and put this person in. Like I've even had people that I wanted to headline that I suggested, and they were like, no, we don't think she's ready yet. Yeah. And then now 2 years later, I'll tell you who it is. It was Christina Mariani, who she's an Austin-based comic.
Yeah, that name sounds familiar.
She's been on Kill Tony. Yeah. She's got like 400,000 followers.
Oh, wow.
Instagram.
Up,
Very, very pretty girl.
Yeah.
And sorry, I just had to throw that in there. But I got to meet her when I was in Austin, and I'm actually going to be opening for her in San Antonio in November.
Congrats. Nice.
But they were like, well, we don't think she's ready yet.
Right.
And I was going to have her and Chandler Roan come up and like co-headline a show. And they told me, they were like, we don't think she's ready to headline yet. And now she's headlining all over the U.S. I wonder how they'd feel about her doing it now. But
they do make all those decisions kind of.
But that is
get approval.
It's interesting because that's the way that, I mean, comedy clubs work. I mean, this is a specific club, but it's like it's the same thing, which is, I think, there's a lot of value in that. I mean, having people like kind of, I feel like it is a little bit gatekeepy, but I mean, I don't know, it's very traditional.
But it keeps the quality of the show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, they're not cheap tickets. Their tickets are $25.
Right.
Yeah. At least, right? Don't they go up more, or
depending?
Is it 25 every time?
It's 25. I mean, since I've been doing, I think it's like 27 now, which is like fees.
Right.
But
still, it's
Well, the best part about it, Don't Tell, is you don't know what you're going to see, and then you get to be in a really cool venue.
Yeah.
So whenever you're looking
unique
for venues, you kind of reached out to a few comedians and other people, and then they also reach out on social where it's like, hey, do you have a venue?
Yeah, trying to
what
find
do you
new
look
places
for in a venue.
just a place that's unique, a place that, you know, you wouldn't expect to see a comedy show in, but at the same time, it has to be a comfortable location for the audience. And we've had a few that were like, I don't know if this is going to work. Like our very first show that we did in a cabinet workshop. And it was like right at the tail end of March. We couldn't have done that show here in July.
Yeah.
Because it would have been 200 degrees in that place. So that's another thing. It's like, oh, does all the air conditioning work? Do we have all the electrical
Seating,
hookups and stuff that we need? Do you have chairs?
I mean, that was the bowling alley that I was at. That was a little bit difficult, I feel like, with the seating arrangements and things.
You don't know how it's going to go until the actual show is. And you show up and you're like, man, this bowling alley, this would be a cool spot for a show.
Great, yeah.
But they also have, 300 people upstairs.
Oh, yeah, the noise. That was the big problem. That's right.
Where was it at? Which one was that one?
That was at the Dust Bowl, right under Fassler Hall.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Over Midtown.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So, yeah, that's a question I had was like, what's been like the most interesting or maybe the favorite venue that you've been to so far? Or any,
favorite
you can just
venue,
talk about a couple of them that you liked.
Let's see. I would have to say the Bone Museum down in Moore. They've been the easiest to work with.
Yeah.
Because
I've never been there. I wanted to go forever. Like, it looks so cool. Because I love dinosaurs. So.
They've been the easiest to work with just in the sense of, like, they had everything that I needed.
Yeah.
Like, they had the chairs, and it was nice and cool in there, and people were excited to be there. Like, we could do cool stuff with the lighting and stuff like that.
The pictures were great with all the stuff in the background. Yeah.
And they allowed BYOB.
Yeah.
Which was,
nice.
That's a huge plus. If a place allows me to do BYOB and it's not a bar where you have to buy drinks, that's going to automatically bring down the cost for just your average audience member. But when we do it in a place where they have, drinks for sale, I have to tell them, like, okay, make sure you have an ample bar staff here because there's going to be potentially 80 people show up that are all going to want to drink, and then they won't listen.
Right.
And it's I'll tell you, we did one at a gun range here.
Oh, yeah.
And I went about 2 weeks before after talking with them online, and I went and I looked at it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to build this for 150 people. Can you accommodate that? Oh, yeah, we'll have seating ready. I show up the day of the show, maybe an hour and a half before we start letting people in. Nothing is in place.
Yeah.
And people act like they have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm like, okay, well, we have a show that is going to start in an hour and a half, and we've sold 135 tickets.
Yeah.
So I need you to help me find seating for this many people. And, they were able to get a lot of it in there, but they only had one bartender.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And she's talking at full volume. Like during the show, like she's yelling out at people, like, "What will you have?" Like? And I'm just like, and I didn't even perform on that show. I just produced, like, was in the background for that one. So, yeah, I usually, if I am on any of the Don't Tell shows, I'm just the host.
Do you work up an agreement or anything? Like, hey, this is the criteria that we're keeping. I'm signing this saying I'll do my side if you do your side. Yeah.
As I've done them, I've done a lot better about, like, okay, like, this is what it's going to be like. Like, are you sure you're going to be able to do that and okay with that?
Yeah.
And that's just trial and error.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the more you do it. 'Cause I imagine, too, it's like, you probably had now like think about like, okay, if you show up and they don't have seating, it's like, okay, you maybe have an idea of where to get those chairs from if you need to if at last minute, and kind of have those things in place for if that happens again.
Yeah, I did this past summer. I had 2 back-to-back Don't Tells right before the military show.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I had to rent a truck and chairs.
Yeah.
So that I could move them between the venues. And I rented like a small little U-Haul, and all the chairs that I needed I actually got from the on-base MWR.
Nice.
So it was like 50 cents a chair.
Yeah.
And I submit all of the payments and stuff that I needed to run. That's another thing that I really like about Don't Tell is I can just submit them the receipt.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is how much I had to spend on this truck.
And they reimburse you.
They reimburse me.
That
So.
is nice. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing you're doing for us, man.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
appreciate
We
that.
like
man.
it.
It's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it.
And they do the promotion too. That's even
Yeah.
They kind of set you up. Do you have to release anything, or they give you a schedule, or it just comes through?
It just comes through. It's based off of how many people we bill the room for. So and then they do all the ads. Like you'll scroll through Facebook and see one like, oh, it's Midtown at 7:30, and it's just by Don't Tell Comedy, and
Yeah, people like that too. I mean, I definitely think about a lot about the different types of shows that we have. I mean, because it is just a regular stand-up show, but it is a twist on it. You know, it's like, and it's cool because people that go to those shows, they know they're going to get, they don't know who it's going to be, but they know it's going to be good because it's, because they do have those parameters in place. They don't just let anybody on there to where it's like they curate it a lot. So yeah, it's really cool and something different. That's where I think that's something that we find, I feel like with your shows, it's like sometimes you don't get a lot of people out, but I do think it is a little bit of people like, they want to see something a little bit different. They don't want to just go to this regular stand-up shows. I mean, I feel like I keep bringing it up, but Cody, I'm just always so impressed with his format because it's so much different than anything where it is involved comedians, but it's like involving so much of the audience, and I think people really vibe with that.
Yeah, I mean, finding those different like things to do, those different like how you do the comedy on the spot.
That's a really good one.
That's one of my favorite shows, if not my favorite show to do around here. And the first time you ever put me on it, I was like nervous because I've never been good at crowd work.
You're not a riff comic necessarily.
I'm like, this is something I should get better at.
Oh yeah.
And the first time I did it, I had a blast.
Oh yeah, you did great. And then the second time.
The second time was
it was good.
Like I was like, oh shit, this was really good.
Yeah.
So I love doing comedy on the spot.
Great.
It's working a muscle. It really is.
It is.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Make you comfortable with people, like just in the moment and bringing up stuff. Like somebody might bring up one topic and then it spalls into this huge story, and you're like, that could be a bit, So you need those types of shows.
Well, that's why you and Jeremy Linkholder were like, I was like, if I put these two on the same stage, they're going to complement each other really well.
Yeah.
Because he does the, you're the kind of country boy from Alabama.
Yeah.
And then he's definitely Shawnee. Dude. So it's like, it was a really good play on that one. But no, those are fun, dude.
That was a great show.
I've learned the most on nights when the crowd was the tightest too.
Yeah.
When it's like I got to pull it out of them. I mean, it's the worst feeling in the world. Yeah. But you got to pull, and then they get loose, and you're like, yes, all right, we got you. But yeah, comedy on the spot, man, that's really working.
That last one that we did. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that last one that we did, there was a girl in the audience that was like, "Hey, did you recently go to a game at the Oklahoma City Comets?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "I think I was your guys' sales rep."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, well, nice to see you again." And then she was like, I was like, "Did you enjoy our group?" And she was like, "Yeah, but there was this taller black guy who he got upset with me." And I was like, "Oh shit, should I tell her? Should I talk about it?" And what ended up happening is that guy passed away the day after that game.
It's wild.
And it kind of put me in a spot, was like, do I talk about this or do I not bring it up? And it made it kind of awkward for the audience, but I was able to and that was my thinking is like, I can be authentic with this. Yeah. And I was able to pull a laugh out of them from that.
That's the thing, is how do you make that funny? I mean, that's tough. That's speaking on those lines, I was going to ask, like, what's kind of like one of the biggest lessons or kind of things that you've learned from comedy, or found through doing comedy for so long, and what can you share there, like as far as something you learned? Usually when we ask that, we used to ask this question like, what was your biggest bomb ever? You know what I mean? Like that's usually where you learn something important. Is there anything that comes to mind?
I think for me, like I've really redefined my personal version of success.
Right.
When I first started thinking about being a comedian, it was Shane Gillis.
Yeah,
it
like
was
how
Dave
do you
Chappelle.
hit
How do I
that-
be that guy?
The big time, selling out arenas.
And I mean, obviously, that's what we'd all like to
Yeah.
do. Everybody wants to be at the top of the mountain. But I think if you are enjoying what you're doing and you're able to make some money doing it, like I'm going to be in some way, shape, or form involved in the business of comedy until I'm no longer.
Yeah, that's just
with
something
us,
you want to do.
Whether it be, like honestly, a big plan that I have for myself is I'm going to continue doing stand up until I retire from the military in 9 years. And hopefully I will have made a lot more connections by then. But my honest to God, like this is what I plan on doing is I want to go work for Carnival Cruise Line.
Yeah.
Not just as a stand up, but as like the cruise director.
And producing and putting shows on there and stuff like
Like
that.
Like there's so many ways to get into the actual business of comedy that if you know how to do it, if you and I'm not boasting myself, but I feel like I'm a lot better than I was a few years ago.
For sure. I mean, just doing it more and more, you keep learning. I mean, that's kind of what we talk about, like, we have dreams of opening a club one day, it's like, and this is how you start. You got to start producing, and just, maybe in 5-10 years from now, we're going to be ready for that.
That's what's crazy to me is people will open a club and they've never produced a show.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I don't understand why this isn't working. It's like, because you don't know how to run a show.
Yeah.
It's like, if you want to open a burger spot, you probably should figure out how to make a cheeseburger.
Right.
So,
well, and then that's also what clubs need is good food, and it's mostly a restaurant.
You need to know how to do
it's
that
a
too.
Getting able to sell alcohol and things like that. That's where you're not making a lot of money from tickets.
Just
like
that.
No, you're really just paying your people.
Yeah. The ticket sales, like you're not making a whole lot. It's the food and drinks where clubs are really making their money and like having, like, I think Bricktown has great food.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many, like I was kind of like, I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, can I get this food item? But now that's like
every time.
If I'm opening for somebody, I'm like, will you put me in a spicy chicken wrap to go?
Come on now.
And I get
spicy
it right.
chicken wrap.
So and I'll get it, like I'll put it in at last call and then I grab it on my way out the door. And it's nice.
That's what's up. Yeah, I love those little perks, man. One of my favorite perks of doing comedy at Bricktown and then letting you go and watch shows for free. I mean, that's a free lesson. That's a free lesson.
For sure.
We'll do that, and then Liz and I will do that as like a date night on Thursday, and then we'll go do a set at JJ's. So it's like you do your lesson, then you go do a set.
Yep, and I'll do that for my friends. Like I'll tell them, like, they'll be like, "Hey, so and so is coming to town, and I'd love to see them." I'm like, "Okay, let's go."
Yeah.
And then they get to come, and of course we got to sit in the back. But I'm like,
still,
there's no drink minimum. You're just coming to a show, and you can just have fun.
Because they want you to do that too. I feel like the clubs, they want the comics to watch these. I feel like you said, it's like a class of like watching potentially somebody that's like master level. It's like you get to watch them and try to just take it in and learn from it as much as you can, because that's going to make you better. And the club wants that for their comedians, because that's going to get them more better comedians.
That's one of the things about here too that I've loved so much is how I've been able to mix my work community along with the comedy side of things to where, the first time it happened was last November. I got booked on the Thanksgiving, like the day before Thanksgiving show. And I just put it out there like, hey, if you want to come see me, it's a free show.
Right.
Like, it's going to be like a local lineup, but it's free and it's the day before Thanksgiving. Everybody has the next day off.
Right.
I had like 35 of my closest friends come to that
work.
show.
Oh yeah, I remember that picture.
Oh man, dude,
That's a
I
good picture.
cried the entire way home because that meant so much to me because we had to work that day.
Yeah.
And they all we got off at 6 and the show started at 7. So people were like, as soon as they got off work, they changed in the locker room at work and came straight to the comedy club.
Dang.
And then they were there at the end. I was like, oh my God,
That's awesome.
like how lucky am I that all of my friends are able to come out and see what I truly love doing, and how that's really transferred over into my success just in the past year at work.
Yeah.
You know, like the Sailor of the Year thing isn't just how professional does he look. It's I've been very involved with my Command's MWR and being able to fundraise throughout the year through this cool niche thing that I can do. It's something nobody else can at the Command. So able, you know, to really build on that has been huge here. So that I plan on doing that the rest of my military career.
Got you a really great opportunity at the base, didn't it? I mean, you worked with, who was it that you worked with?
First Degree of Separation.
Yeah, that's what
that was earlier in the month.
That.
So
some posts about
when
that.
That friend of mine passed away, the ombudsman, who is a Navy spouse that works for the Command, she reached out to me and said, hey, like the task group is really worried about mental health and, you know, anything like that. And they want to look for ways to like raise morale. And she went on like Gig Finder and started like reaching out to any local comedian, and everybody kind of pointed her my direction because they're like, yeah, he's in the military. He might know this guy. And I did. Yeah. And they were like, he runs shows. So me and her started talking, and she was like, you know, there's this group called First Degree Separation, and I can give you their information, and you can talk to them. So I reach out to them, and I kind of tell them my story and like what I've been doing. And the whole idea is it's a regular comedy show. And then at the end, all the comics sit down and talk about mental health and suicide. And it was such a cool opportunity because it was on base. It was literally 100 feet from my house. Yeah. And these people, they do it all over the U.S. And it was a mandatory training for the 507th Air Wing. Yeah. They like were told you have to be there. As somebody who's been in the military, I cannot stand a mandatory training. And everybody shows up and they're like, God, here we go. Oh, it's a comedy show. It's gonna be real funny. And we did it. I was like, I don't have anything I can't say, right? And they were like, oh no, you're good. So I did it how I do any other act, and they loved it. And they were like, that was the most effective training I've been to in years.
Dang, congrats.
Because it gets everybody like kind of out of their shell. Like we're joking, we're talking shit, and then we sit down and, you know, they ask these 5 questions. It's what does depression feel like? And they go around, they do it like a panel. What does depression feel like? What do others do that make it worse? What do others do that make it better? What do you do that makes it worse? And what do you do that makes it better? And we answer all those 5 questions. We'll add like little funny quips between each other during that. But yeah, everybody was like, that was really helpful.
And who all was on that? I know Julie Drake was there.
Julie Drake, the gentleman who put together the show. He asked me, he was like, is there anybody, particularly a female, in the Oklahoma City area that you would recommend? And I was like, I know just the person who, I mean, arguably is one of the best comedians in our scene, and she's very good about like, hey, we need you to not talk about this, 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 and this.
Oh, yeah.
And she can go, okay, and she can fit that bill, which that's a huge tool to have in your back pocket if in any comedy is you want to be versatile. You want to be, you know, hey, they need you to be clean. Okay, I can do that. Oh, you're going to talk to this audience, or you're going to talk to an all-black audience versus a white audience. You might want to change some stuff up. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Like and so with her, I was like, yeah, she'd be great for it. And she did fantastic. So.
Yeah.
And who else was there?
The other guy, his name escapes me, but he goes by the Marine of
Soldier of Comedy.
No, it wasn't him.
Oh, I was like, Hurley?
No, this guy, he came in from L.A.
From here.
Cool. Yeah, he's a Marine Corps veteran, and that was my first time ever meeting and working with him. And then Brad Bonar, he's the guy who runs the company, and he's a comedian as well.
Nice.
So
cool. That's a great, really great thing. I think about that. I mean, I think it's really the reason why I think it's so effective, and I think a lot about with comedy in general. Is I've said this before, is like comedy is such an effective tool of making people think about anything, right? Or think about other people's situations and things like that. Because what we do is you get on stage, you just talk about your life and what you see the world as, and then other people laugh at that and react to it, and it makes them think about, potentially someone else's point of view.
Yeah. That's always been something for me that I feel like has been my best material, is all about like all things that actually happened.
Right.
And obviously I might stretch the truth here and there, but it's all based around like a true, this actually happened story.
Yeah.
So it helps me know the material. It helps me see it in my head. And then at the same time, it's coming from an authentic place. And that's what I feel like people really connect with.
Yeah. It makes it easy to remember too, because it's you.
It's your story.
It's in your head.
And you don't have to worry about somebody stepping on.
Right.
If I tell you, like, oh, this is how I feel about this latest news thing.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm the fourth person in the lineup, chances are somebody's going to talk about that before me. And you better have a real good turn on it. So everybody's
unique
not
take
like,
for sure. Yeah.
But when I talk about how, I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. That's not something that anybody else is going to be able to talk about before me. So,
well, let's get into it. Jehovah's Witnesses. No, I worked for a company. It was Jehovah's Witness. It was kind of an interesting little deal.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, they didn't celebrate holidays, so we didn't get holiday pay.
Yeah.
So that was
that's wild.
Yeah.
We didn't celebrate holidays either. That was
right.
But I did celebrate not showing up when I had to. So that was my favorite part. Yeah.
So let's see. I think we're probably getting near the end. Was there anything we missed that you wanted to bring up?
I did want to go over the show and kind of shout out the show a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now, that's not the whole reason we got you here. Been wanting to have you on here for a while now. But it does so happen that we are doing a show at Put a Cork in It Winery October 10th, and you are headlining. We also have Ben Griffith, Katie Style, and John Wallen. That's a hell of a lineup.
Yeah, it is.
It's a
really
killer
funny.
lineup.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show.
I'm excited to see you do the 30, maybe 40 if you're feeling good, and kind of hope that you do some crowd work.
Yeah. I'm hoping that I'll have a couple of friends there and people that know me personally.
Kind of pick on them.
That could either go really, really well or really, really bad, because they're all savages and in the military. So I'm excited to see them show up and maybe yell something out at me. That's the thing. They're always like, "I'm going to come to your show and heckle you," and I'm like,
"Do it.
You can try if you want to."
They can all hear me.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I tell them, I'm like, don't forget, I am the commanding officer
right.
here right now. So, you can try that if you want to.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
But that is at 7 p.m. Use the promo code LOCALLAUGHs for $5 off. We're doing giveaways now with Liz's handcrafted whatever she has at the time. If it's November, it could be a turkey. Or October, it could be a pumpkin. You know?
She made a little witch's hat last.
Last time. So
was
we got some cats and stuff. So be sure to check it out, and that'll be fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait for that show. Kind of last, I always like to ask this question as kind of the ending thing, a little bit more bigger topic. But what's the biggest challenge that you're currently facing, or maybe something you've had to face to overcome doing this and things like that?
Right now, it is the fact that I got promoted back in April to E6, and I got told, like, hey, you're going to be the LPO, or the lead petty officer, for a shop that has about 20 people in it. And I'm learning in real time what that requires as far as, like, what that takes. Like, now I have to show up to work 45 minutes to an hour earlier than I used to. So I'm getting to work at 5 a.m., which means I have to wake up at 4. And as soon as I get there, I'm giving updates about stuff that people that worked in the middle of the night to an E9. And he's very, very mean, and he does not have time to play games. And while at the same time, they all know, oh, you're a comedian. Yeah. You're a goofball. Tell us a joke. And that's the thing, is I have to keep a very, thin line between okay, this is me being a goofball, this is me being a leader,
right?
And just managing the stress of all of that, along with I'm trying to set up shows and book shows and do what I like to do, but being in charge of so many people, it's hey, LS1, that's my formal title at work, is LS, Logistics Specialist, and then 1 is Petty Officer First Class. So it's LS1 done. And then, but hey, I've got a flat tire on my car. I'm going to be late today. Or, oh, I got in an argument with my baby mama last night. I didn't get any sleep. I'm not going to come in today. And it's, managing that, having a good relationship with them and being stern when you have to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they all know, oh, but you're that funny guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
he'll be cool with this. He's cool. And it's
yeah.
like, no, I'm LS1 done right now.
Yeah.
You need to bring your ass to work. So
Yeah,
For sure.
when it involves the paycheck is when you get serious.
Yep. But that also probably helps with, producing shows a little bit because dealing with comedians is probably a lot, easier than in the military. Is at least less, I would imagine, a little bit less stressful dealing with people that maybe are, whenever you run into issues with that. I don't know.
Yeah, it can be at times. When I did that, 4-day long stretch, those shows at Glamour, that was extremely stressful.
Right.
And because we had a night training, I had to miss the first night of it, like a mandatory, like, hey, you got to go do this instead. And I was like, and that's the thing is balancing, which I have a really good relationship with, Bricktown, and they know that I'm in the military.
Right. So
there's been times where I've been booked on shows, and I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry, but I just found out I'm not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's okay. Like it happened last year. I was supposed to open for William Montgomery for a Thursday and a Friday night right before Blue Whale with John Wallen featuring. Super excited for it. That Thursday, they would not let me off work. And I was like, I'm not going to make it up there in time to do the show. I explained the situation, and I even found them somebody that agreed just to do that show. It was Will Burnson. Shout out to him.
Good man.
He agreed just to do the Thursday night show, and they were like, thank you for coming up with a solution.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So I'm very blessed, but it gets to be a lot.
That's part of the military too. It's like if you have a problem, bring me a solution. If you're bringing me a problem, bring me a solution.
Bring me a solution.
That's something my old man taught me. He was in the Navy, so it was
hell yeah.
Yeah, it was only 4 years. He's not.
What was his rate? Or what was his job?
He was a gunner's mate.
Okay, so GM. Okay.
He said he's like I joined to see the world and I only saw Florida. So that was his. He's like I should have told him I wanted to stay because they send you away. I guess if
that happens to a lot of the guys here. Like this is their first command here in Oklahoma. And they're like, well, I haven't gotten to see anything, and it's like you have no clue. Like since I've been on deployments to Rota, Spain. I got to see a bullfight happen in person.
Awesome.
That was really cool.
Oh my god!
I got to be stationed, or not stationed. I went on 2 deployments for 7 months to Guam. I got to live on that small little aircraft carrier size island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I got to swim near the Marianas Trench, and I've gotten to do things I never thought I would be able to do.
See so much of the world. That kind of helps with comedy too. And we talked about with Cepeda, him being all over the world with the military and getting to meet so many different people and different types of life. In different areas, and it helps whenever you're bringing that to an audience of, a variety of people.
That's what I tell people that all the time too, is that comedy or the military has been like my free ride comedy scholarship.
Yeah.
So like I grew up in this small town in Alabama, but through being in the military, I got to go live in San Diego for 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. And get to be around some of the best comics in the world.
get paid to live there.
Yeah.
And I'm getting better at stand up. And then I come somewhere like this and I'm learning there's a different format to everything. Right. And this is the Midwest and and being so close to Austin, I can just take a little bit of leave and go down to Austin for a few days and then come back and just using those opportunities like we're going, like I got sent back in October of 2023. There was a class in San Diego, so I hit up all of my buddies and I was like, hey, I'm going to be in town for 3 weeks, can I do some shows while I'm out there? So literally got a plane ticket, hotel room, paid the entire time I was there. The class was like 3 hours a day, and then I was going to do stand-up in my old stomping grounds at night.
That's
like,
awesome.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Man. That's what it's about.
Awesome.
Then when you retire, you're just going to go, you can book shows. You've practiced enough now at this point. You're going to be set up and ready to go.
Yep, that's the plan.
Yeah.
I'll be 40 and my daughter will be graduated high school. I'm going to give her all of my educational benefits. That's going to be the deal for her. Is like, hey, here's an education, because I'm not going to use it for anything. Nothing that I want to do requires.
Do you have any other kids? Just the one kid?
Just the one.
See, that'd be weird because you give the one kid everything, and you're like, I don't know, man. I only had one life.
Oh no, I like just having the one.
The one
that I can just spoil, and
That's
it's
awesome.
I have to pick a favorite.
All right. Well, I think that's it. I guess the last thing is, of course, where can people find you and kind of, I don't know, what do you got coming up? Is there any shows you want to shout out? Anything like that?
So where you can find me?
Yeah, put a cork in it.
Socials is Taylor Dunn Comedy. That's on Instagram. That's on TikTok, Facebook. You can find me there.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, coming up shows, put a cork in it. I'll be headlining October 10th with John Wallen, Ben Griffith, and Katie Styles. Really excited about that one. And then November 10th, the day before Veterans Day, I will be hosting Bricktown Scotcher 6 at Bricktown Comedy Club, free for military veterans, and it's going to be a hell of a show.
Let's go.
And then a week after that, I will be headlining one night and opening for Christina Mariani at the Military Comedy Festival in San Antonio, Texas.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm excited. Got a lot of things just, kind of on the horizon, and, I'm excited to see, by the end of the year, kind of what closes out.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you showed up.
This is great.
Man,
Thank
you so much.
Yeah,
appreciate all your hard work.
Yeah, thank you.
Your service, and don't tell.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Keep fighting for us in both ways. I appreciate it.
Sure.
But appreciate it.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
Well, we'll see y'all next week. All right. Awesome.
Great job, man.